McDuff's been in the trades, carpenter, joiner, cabinet maker since I was age 15. I served a 5-year apprenticeship, the old-fashioned way, with hand tools, but I've worked round the table saw most of my working life in the trades, and now I'm going to explain why I still have all my fingers after over 60 years working with a table saw. First of all, what I've done is I fixed the fence and I slid the table on the jimmy jig. This is not a T-fence system which has been, well, it's well over 100 years old, the T-fence, right? Some are good, some are not so good, some are really heavy, maybe weigh about 80-90 pounds, just to keep the fence parallel and at right angles to the blade. This is certainly different because the fence is fixed and the table slides. And the safety devices are not behind the saw blade. They're placed up front and overhead. Each individual item can be used independently of one another. They all slide off and slide on the fence to any distance you want against the blade. This is automatic. This is a keeper piece. This will keep the pressure down as you feed it in. The fence extends away beyond the edge of the jimmy jig, which gives you guidance. Then the secondary one is automatic too. I don't have to change the height ever. This will never ever kick back. It just can't kick back. All automatic, up to 4 inches in depth. And then the outfeed one will have an oval. This acts as exactly the same principle. And I use quite a lot of rubber bands just to give simple tension on any of these safety devices. This is a keeper. This is a waste. How come I've never had a kickback with waste on the left side of the blade? The reason being is the splitter that I've designed here on an inset follows the curvature of a high blade, so therefore no little chips can get in behind the splitter and the blade teeth. Also, the splitter extends past the last teeth of the blade for a distance of 5 inches, keeping the waste aligned and with the splitter metal, so it can be picked up and thrown back at you as a kickback. It just doesn't happen. So this is the reason at nearly 84, working with tools, I've got all my fingers. It amazes me how many woodworkers I've noticed that just use a naked blade and they're just asking for trouble. It's not if, but when it happens. And if you lose fingers in a trade. As a final word, being in the trade for all these years and using a table saw daily or round about that time, I've never ever needed the fleshy thing because I've got all the safety devices that I've ever needed and still have all my fingers. With these fleshy things that cuts the blade and drops it below the worktop, you can get overconfident. And another thing is you can't cut wet wood with it. I've no problem cutting wet wood with this, and I always use the guard, of course. This guard system is automatic too, and I always use these 2 sockets between my ears. I always think before I ever turn the table saw on. I do use a push stick too. So this is my type of push stick. A dowel, rubber stopper on the end, and for rough material I have a little pin driven into the end of the dowel. This digs into the rough material, and it doesn't matter if you mark rough material. For the finished material I use the rubber end. As the safety device holds the wood down, I can walk away and come back and the piece of wood's still there because it can't ride back because of the safety device. Man, this holds it down. That saves it kicking back. And I can pull the material back and recut or whatever. Get rid of the waste material the same way. So that's McDuff's push sticks.